Without further ado, spawning in the bottom right position of the map, that is Bel'Shir Vestige. As our blue Terran player from Team Acer, it is MMA. And spawning in the top left position as the green Protoss player. Coming in from Evil Geniuses, it is HuK. So we saw a pretty back and forth series so far. The first game, HuK went for a very fast double forge and was able to secure himself a nice advantage going up 1-0. And in the last game, we saw MMA turn up the heat. He went for a lot more aggressive style, and that really, I think, paid off with big dividends rather than going for the 3cc build. It's really important not to let the Protoss player get those early upgrade advantages. Protoss, the late game is just very so strong, and when you have to face both the Colossus and the Storm at the same time. But I mean, really, it was more so the Colossus play. But the fast 3-3 is really what hurt him. And in this game, I think we're going to see a little bit more aggressive play from MMA again. Yeah, there we go. Gas first play from MMA. He's actually got a build that he's done before. A really fast reactor factory Widowmine drop, which we could see maybe. The most popular gas first build I think that's been floating around, though, is you go for the barracks, you get your factory, no add-ons. You just produce Marines and Widowmines and go straight for a drop, and then you just expand behind that. Some players like to go into Marine tank behind it, such as Straylock. Or Gumiho, I believe, did that in DreamHack Open Stockholm. But this SCV, it's looking to go and probably throw on a proxy factory once this barracks completes. Of course, when you go for gas before barracks, you're able to begin a factory as soon as the barracks is done. So there that SCV is making its way across the field. HuK, on the other hand, he's doing exactly what he's been doing. He's opening up with the 2 probes for gas, just kind of setting himself up nice and comfortably. And this proxy factory could end up doing quite a bit. Depends just... I mean, it really just depends on how he scouts this. Oh, Reaper. Oh, Reaper Widowmine. This is a fun one. This is something that actually was recommended to me by Root Sage. Said it's one of the really crazy ways that Terran players can get aggressive versus Protoss is proxy factory with Reapers. Now, the Reaper keeps the Stalker dancing around. It distracts the Protoss player long enough for the Widowmine to just walk up into the main base and burrow by the mineral line. When you force out Stalkers with the Reaper, you actually prevent them from being able to throw up anything like a robotics facility. So this fast of a proxy play, this fast of an aggressive style could work out really well. This Zealot is unlikely to scout this factory positioning because most of the time proxies are going to go in this area. Guess where that Zealot's headed? This side of the map. I mean, I guess he could just go down all the way down the field. He's going to run straight into this Reaper. And MMA's just going to do a bit of microing. Oh, don't lose that Reaper to that Zealot. That would be just silly. He's going to build a reactor back at home, and he's also going to expand, getting a bunker up before the command center, really making sure he can keep tabs on everything that's going on. And the bunker has started. Widowmine production begins, and what he wants to do is just bait this Stalker out, saying, hey, man, just come on. Come party. The Nexus is on the way for the Protoss player, just dragging him out, just dragging him as far away as he can with that Reaper, letting him think, giving him the illusion that he can, you know, punish a Reaper expand or something like that. But this is not just a Reaper expand. This is a pretty ballsy play. The robotics facility has just started, but he does have time still to get this mine in there and do some damage. No second mine queued up just yet. It is complete for MMA. There goes the second one. The SCV is going to scout. He doesn't really want to bait him out too hard. Maybe if he could bait the mothership core with that, but the bunker's done, so he's not going to really do anything else. And now we do have that Widowmine coming in. There's no sentry. He's just going to try to run in here and burrow right here. The probe's already being pulled by HuK. He doesn't want to lose anything to this. Oh, the mine's going to burrow. Is he going to get anything? Nope. Okay, he's going to... Oof. Too close. Oh, no, he's coming again. He's going to try to get this round. The Widowmine is going to do a burrow. Boop. Boop. He got a single probe. Okay. Really close. Really dangerous. But that robotic facility will finish. And now the second mine is going to make its way over here. But MMA, he kind of missed his window. He's not going to be able to do anything else at this point because the cooldown won't be done. He actually hasn't started that observer yet. There we go. So that mine should get one more shot off. And if he micros this properly, he could do some damage with it. Where did the second mine go that MMA made? Oh, I think it just died. No, it's behind the mineral line. Very nice touch. Well, here we go. And then he's going to try to make something happen with this mine. Gets 3. Not bad. I guess that's his... You know, total he killed, what? 4 probes this game? Not terrible. And I like this. He's kind of just positioning himself in an awkward spot. But the issue here, now that the observer's out, mines just kind of suck. So he's going to be able to find them. Now, if he doesn't see this one, and I like where this one's positioned, just because it's hard to spot, but there's already a couple Marines moving out, and this is a pretty aggressive play from MMA. He has moved up to this second. He hasn't gotten his command center. He's adding on. He's going to bring the factory home, but no stim pack started just yet, so he won't be opening up with a quick starport. Since, I mean, what's he really going to be able to do with it? I think he has an immortal out now too. Where's the observer? That's really important to keep note of, because that Widowmine can actually end up doing a lot of damage. Oh, he actually already got a probe, I think. So he's bringing the observer back to take care of this, and he will be able to kill that Widowmine, no problemo. And this Marine finds a proxy pylon by the third base. So MMA, he's just doing his thing. And now he's adding on the starport. He's getting the tech labs on these additional barracks. He's getting his +1 attack. I'd like to see an armory for a fast +2, but, you know, it's whatever. He could just start both combat shield and stim at the same time instead. And HuK, tiny bit of a supply block caused by that. He's got a pylon about to finish up. No biggie. And there's a forge for HuK. A second immortal. He's chronoing these out, actually. Does HuK have something nefarious planned? Maybe possibly go for a big 2-base push. I don't think he'd be able to do much. MMA is wary of this, though. He's already throwing down 3 bunkers. And HuK is going to move out, but I don't think he's going to be able to do terribly much. This Marine, that's at the tower. It'll see these stalkers moving out, although I guess the observer, 2 stalkers taking map control is fine. He won't spot these immortals, and that's what really counts. So proxy pylon going up for HuK. He doesn't really have a lot of gateways, though. Like, he's still only on 2 gates. This is like a feigned pressure, a semi, maybe I want to all in you, but not really type build. He is adding on a lot of pylons, though. This is more proxy pylons than you need for this. 3 bunkers is more than enough to defend against this, especially with the Widowmine. And it's pure Marines, so Marines are just generally good against the Zealot Immortal setup. And now he's going to come in here. He's going to throw on the Guardian Shield. He throws on the Force Fields. Oh, this first bunker is going to fall. There is another one, though. The medevac actually catches those Marines before they can get picked off. He might actually lose all these bunkers. I still think there should be more than enough Marines here with this medevac support to stave this off, but MMA, he's inside of that bunker now, and if he loses, actually lost all the sentries. If he kills off these immortals, he could potentially win the game with a counterattack. HuK, I think, a bit over-committing here on this pressure. Thankfully, he didn't lose the immortals, but he didn't really do much damage at all with that. He just killed off 2 bunkers, and what? Did he even get any SCVs? Just 1. That was a pretty ballsy investment. Now he's going to move up to 4 gateways, but when you've only got 2 gates, how much pressure can you honestly expect to do? Especially with those bunkers all nice and tight like that. So we do have the gas finishing up at the natural for HuK. He still has the mothership core, but now we're in that awkward situation again where HuK doesn't have a 3rd base. He doesn't have any tier 3. He doesn't have the robotics bay. And now he's just adding on more gateways. So he's just going to move up to 6 gates again, it looks like. And we could see him go for some big aggression, but I don't think you can do much more. Once stim is done, Bio just wrecks any gateway setup. Except for Archons, but there's not even a Twilight Council on the field, so this is going to be tough. MMA remembering to get his concussive shell, something that I think a lot of Terran players forget to get. It's probably the most forgotten, one of the more forgotten upgrades these days. But scans, picks off the observer. Now MMA's moving out, and this is going to be tough hold for HuK. What he's relying on is the Photon Overcharge to whittle down the units, to buy him as much time as possible for these immortals to really just crank out and just blow all of these marauders to smithereens. So that is it's gonna be tough. He's getting ready to move in though. MMA has stim. He has +1 attack. What are the upgrades for HuK? Oh, he's going for +1 attack. He won't have any armor upgrades. So MMA is actually going to do a little bit more DPS than you'd normally have Bio doing versus a Protoss army at this point. Now, is he going to just stim and try to target down this Nexus? Photon Overcharge is activated. The Sentry's trying to peel some of these Marines off. Widowmine shot actually hits the Immortal, glazing off a lot of those shields. He has a Marine here. He knows there's no 3rd base for HuK, so he just wants to contain him. +1 armor's on the way. Twilight Council. I don't know if this is a when behind Dark Shrine moment, because that is going to stop. That is going to be really, really difficult to do. And now, well, oh, MMA. He's dancing around here. Concussive shell. He's peeling off unit after unit. Really nice control here. 3rd command center is about to complete for the Acer Terran. He's just scanning. He's just zip-zap-zooping around. Where did that scan go? He wants to know what's in the main base. So the Twilight Council's done. He's going to go into charge, get the +1 armor, and he's adding on a 2nd forge. So what he's basically doing is he's hoping to just turtle up long enough that he can explode out with really good upgrades. That's his goal. He wants to just move out with like 2-2 or 3-3 or something. But MMA's got his 2-2 on the way. He's not really going to be able to catch him off guard with an upgrade advantage. And I feel like HuK, he's got to get a 3rd base. But there's even a Marine here that's going to be like, no, probe, sorry. Sorry, we're closed. Probe gets knocked off. And HuK, now he's got to worry about the triple threat. There's the drops that can come in, there's the frontal attack, and then there's the problem that he just can't get a damn third. So the Zealot's going to go over here and try to deny this. But once he... Goodness, he's got 5 Immortals versus a Terran. That's not something you see very often. War Prism is on the way. I do like this. Going for counter harass, it may be the only way to buy himself enough time to actually get that third. Because the first thing that MMA should try to do is just go over there and deny that. Since the army for HuK is very immobile and there's no area of effect damage. Now this Observer does spot it. Does MMA see the Observer? Maybe he doesn't have any scans available, but he's going to head over, and HuK still hasn't actually started the third Nexus. I think he realizes it's going to be quite risky for him to get that up. He's going to bring his whole army over first, and yeah, HuK's bringing his whole army over here. We can see this little orange dot showing that his army has been sent a command. Now Zealot, a counterattack, is trying to go up here, but there's Hellbats. Like, this Zealot's not going to do a crazy amount of damage. And now MMA's like, oh, you got a pylon. Let me just kill that off. Another proxy pylon's going up on the left side, but these Marines spot that probe. Now, will MMA realize that there is a pylon here? That's a very important thing for him to tell. There's still no area of effect damage on the map for HuK, by the way. He's basically like massing Immortals, which is really unusual to see. But it's partially because of the low econ situation he's been forced into. He has robotic speed just now starting at the 1540 mark. Big Zealot run by being set up to go over here. But the Hellbats are actually there's actually some Hellbats rallied over here. I think these Hellbats could take this out. I don't know. Oh, no, don't leave. MMA's bringing the Hellbats out. Well, these Zealots can actually do a lot of damage to this base. He does have a bunker building behind the mineral line. If these Zealots move in before the bunker, though... No, bunker's going to finish. Never mind. So he's fine. MMA just needs to make sure he gets his Marines inside the bunker. That's what's most important. And now here we go. The charge lot's coming in, going after those SCVs. And now the Zealots are like, oh, get to the bunker. No, he's going to try to target down the SCVs. And HuK can still kill a lot of workers here. The problem is he's got a lot... Oh, that War Prism... Ooh, he's going to be able to take out one of these barracks. He's running in. But these Ghosts and Marines are in such a nice, tight little choke point. There's no way HuK's going to be able to bust this. And more of these Zealots are moving in. He's warping in more and more. But these Marines are 2-2. He does have the Ghost, which does extra damage versus light units. And pretty much with EMPs, just EMP these Immortals, these Sentries, and this is going to be a sweet A move for MMA through this very chewy gateway-based army. And here we go, the EMPs blanket everything, the bio stims, Time Warp's thrown down. He is peeling off a good number of these units, but HuK supply is falling so fast. The harass in the main base and the third has been stopped. MMA wants to take this. He wants to advance to the Russian Starleague playoffs. He wants to make it towards that round of 16 bracket, and it looks like we are going to have a Terran advance and be the final player to make it into that bracket. GG from HuK MMA, winning this series 2-1 in a fantastic fashion over the Evil Geniuses Protoss player. Great play for MMA, and that settles it. He is the last player moving into the Russian Starleague playoffs. So great games, guys. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. If you like the casting, please follow my Twitch TV channel. I am Nathanias, and I really appreciate all of you guys being here. You can also follow me on Twitter at RootNathanias. You can catch VODs of this and other Russian Starleague groups and games that I do, which is at youtube.com/darknathanias.